Alright guys, it's Friday and I finished work on Wednesday and spent some time out here Thursday. Wednesday was my birthday, so there's also the other Sam from Classic Car Overhaul. I believe his birthday is the 8th as well, so happy birthday Sam, which is cool. Got a couple things finished up. My bumper brackets painted, chassis black, seam sealed my edge of the trunk and everything, and I got the inner structure of the front bumper off because I'm happy with the fit and everything. So now I'm going to get all these together. These are the last things I'm going to have to sandblast for the car. So these brackets and the rear inner brackets, get all those bosses painted in some black chassis black. And then both the bumpers can sit away until whenever I send them out for chrome. I'm still going to weld up the bumper bracket, the bumper jack bracket holes. Went to the auto body supply yesterday, picked up some better epoxy, and got myself a new primer gun. It's got a 1.8 tip. The absolute goal right now for during vacation is to get all the removable panels off. So hood, fenders, doors, and trunk lid, and get everything scuffed on the back side and any surface rust that's turned up, sanded down, and shoot all the inside of that with fresh primer, and then lay it back on the car, scuff the whole car, then shoot it with correct primer, and then I can get into doing my filler and my body work and everything. But then at least the car will be in primer of the same age, you know. This fender, I did this is the first fender I did, and that's 2 years old now, compared to the hood, which is like the newest thing. Okay guys, I've got the front torn down again, all up here. This is the first panel that I blasted, so you can see it's starting to flash rust up in here. So just want to get all this clean, I'll wire wheel it and do whatever I gotta do. And then for the hood, it's pretty fresh, but it's not the same primer, and there's a lot of garbage in it from the media. I'd be interested to know how you guys usually get all this stuff out, but it's a lot of work. So then the doors will come off, and I'll do the insides of the doors, and then while the doors are off, I'll do the jambs and do the cowl again, I think is the best way to do it, and then it can all go back together, and then I can do it as one. What's up guys? It's day 3 of vacation. I was out there till about 10 o'clock last night, so I've got a good 11 hours. No. Yeah, good 11 hours out here yesterday. Doesn't look like I did much. Got the car blown apart, everything marked, alignment stuff, so it should go back together really easily. Preserved all my shims with my bolts and everything, so I shouldn't have any problems. Remember I was saying I wanted to move this door forward, because it was sitting back a little on the rocker panel, like 1/8 of an inch. Wasn't able to move it forward any further. I was at max travel on these this cage. The way these cages are, it's folded over here, so your maximum travel for this end here. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to just take the cutoff wheel and zip this edge off, and just clearance the edge of this cage. And then what I can do is then just come in with a little grinder and then open up the end of these holes here, and then everything will be able to move forward just that little more. It doesn't need to be much. I don't see any issues with allowing this to move forward further forward than it can. So that's the next thing to do anyway. This side of the door is happy with, so drilled some little 1/8 inch alignment holes. Same with the trunk lid. Did 4 for those, so the trunk will go back together nice. Okay, it's day 4 of vacation, and it's about noon. I'm going to break for some lunch, but everything is down scuffed with 120. All the quarters, doors. Cracky's been out here, he's been helping. It's been super helpful. Have another person help out. Everything's done from the doors, the hood. Well, a little bit of progress. It's about 8 o'clock, and just went out and grabbed some food. And all this stuff's looking really good. It flashed off. This is 2 coats. Dried really nice, so it was a lot easier to spray than that Summit stuff. And the trunk lid had a little run here, and I think what this was from repeat trying to get down in the sides of the hinges and stuff. So, but it came out really good, so I'm really happy with it. I got some trunk spatter paint, and this rail, it's crazy how much rust is up in here from it just sitting for so long. Considering I sandblasted it and everything, it really got a bit. So get this cleared out and get the jams ready and taped off. So the next thing would be painting the cowl and the jams and inside the trunk in this area. And then once I do that, I can assemble it again. So I'll try and get some stuff done tonight. Cheers. Okay, it's like 9:30. Actually, I think it's just before 10. I went to Audio Body Supply this morning, got some new tape, some papers, some stuff for masking, and some drop cloth stuff. So I'm going to get together, get ready, and start masking the car off to get the jams ready. And that's the goal now. So this is day 5 of vacation. So a little bit, I think I'm moving okay. Probably could always be faster, but whatever, it's vacation. Alright, cheers. It's noon, and just enjoying a big cup of coffee and taking a little break. Got this bagged up, the drop cloth, the rocker's taped off, and then back to here. I really don't think I need to go this far back for overspray because I'm sanding all this again and everything. I just don't want it coming down thick anywhere from overspray, like on this edge, obviously. So still got a little taping to do up and around here, but getting there. My goal on this vacation has been trying to do 10 or hours a day on the car. Yesterday was 10 and a half. The day before that was a write-off because I went to the car show, but before that it was 11, and then the day before that, which was my first day of vacation, was like 4 and a half. So I'm kind of on track. Should be able to do 10 or 11 tonight, no worries. Okay, it's 2:30. Everything's sanded down. Okay, everything's ready to roll. I'm going to mix up some primer and get this thing sprayed. Cheers. Okay, so it's had some time to dry up, and I think it looks great. Pretty happy with it. You can see it in the light better. This stuff sprays so much nicer. The gun is super thirsty. Like it, I was so surprised at how much I used up. Like it just goes and goes and goes. But I think that's because of the 1.8 tip, I believe. So it's still drying, of course, but I'm going to try and maximize my time while I can. If I'm doing good on time, I'm going to start the restoration on the heater box, because putting that in while the fenders and everything off is really helpful, obviously, or the only way to do it. So because the outside piece is good to go, but the inside needs to be sandblasted and stuff. So that's sort of my next thing while this dries, just trying to have things lined up so I can just go. I had to go out for dinner, which was nice, but really lost 2 hours. So really want to get this heater core broken down and see if I can blast this and get that rolling, make a little progress on it. Right, so I had a problem with the heater box, of course. This lever was completely snapped. I'm trying to slide it out, so to get this flap out to get in there, fix it. Of course, the second box that's in here is spot welded in here after they put the flap in. So to get the flap in, I cut the heater box out, bend it out. But now it's in there, and it's got a coat of paint on it, and nobody will ever see it for the next 50 years. And it doesn't matter because I like to punish myself like that. So I'm going to weld this back up and then grind down and get ready for paint. Cheers. Alright, I got the last little brackets and stuff and bolt heads painted for the heater core. It's 11:30. I welded up the back side with the new flap, ground it down a little bit and just covered it in some black paint, some of that chassis paint, the Bell Hirsch stuff that I have. That's all in, it's drying now, flap's in there. I'm going to call it a night. Tomorrow, get back out here, get on the reassembly, and then start sanding and prepping for the full painting the full body and primer. So feeling fairly productive. Alright, it's just after 10. The heater box is dry, so I'll start reassembling that, and yeah, I'll bring you guys along. Cheers. Okay, so I addressed the door issue. Remember I was saying I wanted to be able to move the door further forward. I cut the end off the cage, and then just with a little carbide bit was able to allow this plate to move further forward. And then on this side, same thing with the carbide bit. I just extended the factory bolt hole so this plate comes forward. It's really not that much total extra. It's maybe 1/4 of an inch, but I don't foresee it causing any problems because it's not stopping me from going back as far as it used to be able to go. So having that adjustability, I think, is going to give me just what I want. And I was trying to figure out why, and it just must be because of the quarter, because this is the one that I replaced. And even though it was tight here, when I replaced it, I left the original door bolted, and it was probably tight to begin with because I tried to match the gap that the door had when it was originally in place, not thinking about what was going on up the front. So maybe the door originally was so far back anyway. So yeah, so I think this is just enough. I know there's that saying of you know, there's no wrong way to do things, but I'm pretty sure in this case this is the wrong way to do it. Okay, the heater core restored, pulled all the vents out, cleaned them off, got all the old foam and stuff off them, and then it moves nice, nothing rattles. This vent's good. Yeah, I think it looks good. Picked up a new core. They only make them in aluminum now, which is fine, obviously better. New motor and new hamster wheel. So things are good. They want like $45 for the gasket set for these things. So I just end up using black RTV. It's just not worth justifying. But anyway, looks cool for something that no one's ever going to see. But one more thing off the floor, right? I'll throw it in and bring you guys back. Cheers. Well, it took a little bit longer than expected. It's in. It's just the distance between there and the cowl and the depth to reach both ways to hold both halves together is it's just out of my reach. So anyway, it's all in, sealed up, looks good. Okay, it's 11 o'clock and the car is one piece again. Worked on the fenders a little more. You can't see that side, it's dark, but the whole moving the door forward deal I think worked out really good. Gave me just what I needed. Still maybe a little tight there, but definitely a lot nicer up here. I wouldn't want it much tighter any more than that anyway. Trunk lid's on. I was reading the directions for this trunk paint, and it turns out that it did want a primer, and they also reference the rust encapsulator, but I did have some left in a tin and it was just enough to do this, so I painted this earlier today, except the problem is that they wanted a 6-hour flash time before, or let it sit for 6 hours before adding the trunk spatter stuff. Yeah, I painted that at 5, and then got the rest of the body assembly done and everything else. So, and seam sealer and all that. I think I showed you guys that. So anyway, this is all masked. I'm going to tape the trunk off because this is all the new good primer, and then I'm going to spray that, and I'm going to go to bed. All right. Well, Saturday morning. Got my coffee, and this is looking good. It goes on fairly light, so this is about 3 coats. Just, you know, from a distance spraying it on, to whether they'll notice too much of a difference between this and the next one. But I got the paint, and why not? All right, cheers. Okay, so time to start masking. All right, it's 4 o'clock, and I've just been taping and taping like a maniac. I think I'm done with the taping. Well, it's about 10:45 and the car is sanded down or completely scuffed down everywhere, and going through wax and grease remover and the whole thing, and it's looking pretty good. So tomorrow I'll come out and I'll give it another round because it was dirty. It was rags, or just couldn't get a clean wipe on it at all. Okay, it's Thursday, so day 7 of vacation, and I'm gonna just sort of jump around real quick and check any little spots. I gotta do both these sides up inside here. Double check the wheel arches, although I think they're pretty good. Channel's looking good. I'll wax and grease remove it again because, man, it was dirty last night. Like, it was really dirty. So cool. I'm excited. This is fun. This is getting really cool. All right, cheers.
I've told you about my problem time and time again. No, yes I have. I ain't asking for much, I just need your helping hand. Reach down, heal your wounded child. It's been so long, Lord, since anyone seen me smile. I've been walking with the devil, but he ain't gonna get my soul. Well, hell no. Alone with the bottle again, drinking with the Lord. I'm just drinking with the Lord. You know all my demons, you call them out by name. Yet you're willing to forgive all my evils and my shame. I've tried, but I can't do it on my own. Help me throw away my bottle. Don't wanna drink my death no more. Don't wanna drink my death. I've been walking with the devil, but he ain't gonna get my soul.
It's about 3:30. This has been drying for 2.5 hours, and it's looking pretty nice. It's looking a lot better than it was the last time. I think the roof looks really good. There's kind of some blotchiness. It's not in the surface, just in the shade of it. I don't know if that's just the old primer in some spots showing through, so it's darker or something. It's pretty minimal though. But man, it's nice to see it in one shade of grey.